Morning. On today's video, we're towing another project down to the farm. I had to I'm borrowing a buddy's skid loader trailer, so I got to move my grandpa's skid loader up to the farm. That thing only does like 5 miles an hour in road gear, so it's better just to haul the thing than it is to drive it the 5 or 6 miles over from his place to mine. So right now I'm bringing this down since I had to bring the trailer down anyway. That's the only vehicle I have right now that doesn't run. I bought that last summer for a couple $100 from a guy that bought it from a widow who didn't know she didn't know much about title paperwork, basically. And so consequently, I don't have a title for it yet. I've been going through the state of Minnesota to be able to obtain a title for it, so that's been a fun process so far. But right now, I'm just kind of meandering my way here. I've got Grandpa's pickup today, so I can tow the trailer because I don't know. My other two trucks got hailed on last fall. We had like golf ball sized hail or softball sized hail that came down and took out both the windshields in my trucks. And thankfully, it didn't get this one or my little red step-side truck. Those both were in town. I had the other two out at a farmer that I helped because I was using them out there. So they gotta get new windshields in them before I can drive them down the road. So that's $600 and some bucks. But for now, I'm just using Grandpa's truck, thankfully, until I can get the new windshields in those. So that's kind of what the plan is for today. Stick around, we'll find something to do or break. Pardon the light, but that is the truck. Kind of walk you around here so you can see it. Pretty clean for a Minnesota truck. This truck actually came out of Iowa, as you saw on the front license plate. As I mentioned before, the widow that the guy I bought it from, her husband bought this truck down in Iowa and never transferred the title. So as far as I know from the DMV, what they can tell me is that the title holder still lives down in Iowa. So that's the fun part of trying to find whoever it was. I don't know a name or anything, so because it's been a couple parties that it's gone through, but we got it figured out. So today's goal is to start getting a bunch of stuff cleaned up around the yard and get the dumpster not full, but hopefully we'll be able to fit everything I need in one trip because they're getting expensive. I got a 30-yard dumpster, was like $430, something like that. So today's goal is just to get everything cleaned and emptied out, and that way it looks a lot more presentable and livable to the world. So I'll take some video when we got something else going on. Back here, this is 2-3 weeks I think since you saw the last video I did. We just kind of got in a funk and got stuff cleaned up and needed to get it done so we could get our dumpster full so it could get picked up. But we've gotten a lot farther on the farm since you last showed. Today is Easter Sunday, so I've been down visiting my grandpa and we went to church. So they're down having a nap for a little bit, and then we're gonna go hang out for a while this afternoon. But I figured I'd come up and continue my video that I tried to make a couple weeks ago, showing just how much the farm has progressed. Now this is all the stuff that we kind of picked up and organized that we need to get rid of, but all the garbage that was on the sidewalk and it was right here is now all gone. Got the deck pretty well cleaned off. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. So the major progress we did is down in the shop. We squared this deck up so you can actually get up here now. These are the steps my grandpa had here when they lived here. The rest of the blocks are actually over there underneath the stairs. So I'm going to try and put that back together again so that they actually have steps to get up into the house. But at some point this summer, I'm going to try and see if I can finish up this deck and get it refinished so it's actually usable again. We got a bunch of this kind of cleaned up and scraped away. Bunch of pop cans and stuff that were down here, so we get some progress, but I think the most progress they made is down in the shop. You can actually walk and move around now in the shop. Most of what's left is scrap metal, so we'll have to come in and clean that up, but you can actually walk around in here. I still didn't get rid of that table yet. This mattress and box spring actually has metal springs in it, so I'm gonna have to burn them to get rid of it, but believe me, this is, you people saw what this looked like before. It's miracle bounds better. It looked like we got terribly lot done in the amount of time that I showed you, but I took a weekend off because I was just getting burnt out and I needed some time to relax a little bit. But next week, this week I'm working, and the next week I took off, and the plan is to get moved into the house. So they're coming to put the new thermostat in sometime next week, and then I'm gonna get a security camera system put in, hopefully before I move in. Depends on how soon it gets here. So we'll see how that turns out, but the place is starting to shape up again and look like a farm and not like somebody's junk heap.
Many months later.
It's been a hot minute since I recorded that footage that you just saw. I've been really busy just cleaning things up, trying to clean up the house. This weekend my parents are coming, and a bunch of the family's coming. Actually, we're going to clean the stuff out of the house. Since the first video, today is August...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
What is the date today? It is... well, I don't know, it's August. So, right now I've just been kind of cleaning, but I'll kind of flip the camera around here and show you what I've been up to. Well, the yard's getting quite a bit cleaner. Got a bunch of stuff cleaned up around the front of the house. There's still a bunch of wood there that was laying there. I don't know if I showed that. That was wood that he had got to finish up the deck on the front of the house. Got the siding fixed here on the house. Had to do that for insurance. Biggest thing is no more camper. Well, they're here still. Bus is right there waiting for the guy to come pick it up to haul it to scrap. But he's been taking his sweet time. He's supposed to have been here a month and a half ago. The camper and stuff I'll show you here, I pulled down behind the shed so that it's not such an eyesore. So as you can see, the camper's back here, along with there's a little Farmall tractor that used to be sitting here that I got rid of. I've still got a bunch of trees to cut down and get rid of, and kind of just been cleaning. We got the skid loader that's up, Grandpa's skid loader's up here, so we've been using it for moving stuff, as well as the little, he was up here and sprayed some stuff, I guess, today. So he kind of has a mind of his own. Grandpa decides he wants to come and do something. Oh, that's got to get sprayed. I'll come up and do it. And he doesn't even tell me he's going to do it. So, but that's how family is sometimes. So over there's a little, I think it's a Case 300. The hydraulic pump is completely shot on, and basically the whole tractor needs way more work than it's worth to fix it up. But mostly this probably fall will be to get a bunch of the trees cut up. The main goal for this weekend, when my folks are coming up from Colorado, is they're going to help me clean out the house, and we're going to get the last of my family's stuff out of the house so that I finally have the house to myself. That happened since the barn finally fell down. I've got some video I'll edit in sometime here of showing it collapse from my home security system on the house. But the barn has finally come down, so next summer the plan is to get that cleaned up and gotten rid of. I'm going to save a bunch of the wood from the siding and try and use it for some craft projects. And a buddy of mine from work wants a bunch of it, so he's going to make some picture frames for me in exchange for a bunch of the lumber. A bit of progress has been made on Hank the farm truck. Got a brand new set of tires put on all the way around. So the other tires that were on there were also white walls. They're actually sitting right over there. I got to get rid of them yet. They actually were still holding air, but they were pretty much junk. I took and polished the paint just because I felt like it, and it actually turned out really nice and cleaned up quite nosely. So don't mind this. This is just all the stuff that I've been using to work on here. Right now it needs an exhaust, just some little odds and ends. I gotta actually mount that coil somewhere, so it's not just kind of free floating in here. I got a new power steering pump that I gotta flush the power steering system and put the pulley and stuff back on, and then hook that up, bleed the coolant system. I had put before I moved down to the farm, actually, I put a new water pump and thermostat in here because this upper radiator hose was missing, and the radiator and this where the thermostat was full of mouse nests, so I wanted to clean that out before I started working seriously on getting the truck running. So that's kind of I've been running it off the boat tank. I got the new fuel tank put in, but I haven't actually hooked it up. I've just been running it off the boat tank for now. But I'll fire that thing up. I got the key. Why not? Now listen to it run. She's loud. She's loud and proud. But she's got long tube headers on her. Whoever was working on this truck before me put those on and never finished putting the exhaust system on. Yeah, she's got a little bit of a rumble. So I don't know how well that came through because that sucker's pretty loud without any exhaust on it, but just a little more moss to wash off. I didn't have enough pressure washer hose to get to where it was sitting when I washed it, so now when I get a chance I'll finish washing that. I got some wiring to fix. The brake light's stuck on and that one doesn't work. I gotta fix the brake light switch. So I'm not killing the battery. I've been just unhooking the battery when I'm not using the truck, but that's the next thing after the exhaust gets put on, is to go through and fix all the wiring on the lights. I got headlights, I don't got turn signals, and the brake lights are a little funky, so that'll be the next thing to fix, is get the brake lights working, so that way I've got a running driving truck again. I'll show you. I don't know if I have showed this truck yet. So that is my very first vehicle. This was my dad's truck when I got it from him. I've got a picture of that thing somewhere sitting next to my grandpa's brand new, at the time, 2012 F-150. It's a little worse for wear. It got hit with a hailstorm pretty bad. I can kind of show you. I don't know if you can really see the hail dents that well in the hood. Right there, and the windshield got all smashed up, so I got to put a new windshield in it. Had it at a tire shop, getting new tires mounted, and didn't get the lug nuts tight on this one, and it came off, unfortunately, and totally wrecked up the side of this bed. And then the bumper, the body shop that I took the truck to have an estimate done for insurance, they had a wrecker come and move it, who was incompetent, and as he hooked the bumper and ripped the bumper back. And the body shop was telling me, oh, that's the way it was when it came in. Well, I showed him, I had pictures to prove that that wasn't the case, because I took pictures of the damage after it happened. So that was a whole big story, but yeah, this truck needs some work before I can really drive it a lot on the road. But this truck's got 270 some thousand miles on it, with an old, it's got a 302 just like Hank over there. This one's just fuel injected, but it needs to come out and either be resealed or replaced, and I'm very much more leaning toward replaced. But me and my grandpa went together and bought this skid steer trailer so he can move the skid loader around. And right now I'm kind of using it just to pick up junk around the yard and shuttle it to where we're making a pile, just to try and get stuff cleaned up and moving around. But I've been kind of busy with work and stuff my knee's been bothering me. This knee has been bothering me quite a bit lately. So moving up and down stairs and stuff has been kind of hard. The first apple tree, it's got some apples on it. This one I think got damaged a little bit when it was younger, and so it's kind of stunted, but there's some pretty decent apples growing on it. This one, however, my lord, there's got to be 200, 300, 400 apples on this tree, and they're not little apples either. I mean, I got big hands. And, you know, they're actually not too bad. Pretty good, a little tart. Oh, that one got a worm in it. But they've actually, this thing has got tons and tons and tons of apples on it. I don't know what kind of apple tree it is. There isn't any kind of tag on it. My uncle planted it. But so far, I think I'm gonna grab one to have for snack. Yeah, that one's nice and clean. So that's kind of what's been going on around here. Mainly just doing some odd jobs. I graded the driveway. Tried to get a bunch of the clover out. Grandpa, when he came up with the sprayer, sprayed the clover down the driveway so that hopefully it'll start dying off, and then I can take the blade on the back of the 4230 and scrape it off. So we got this 4230's been up here because I've been using it for doing some cleaning, and then we're going to use it to move furniture in and out of the house. The stairs in the house, I think I might have showed this in the last video, they're not really good for moving furniture. There's basically a real short spot, and then it turns and it comes up to the upstairs, and you can't get furniture around it. So the second story window is actually a fire escape window that I've actually got it open right now because it's actually a really nice day out today. It's about 75 degrees and nice and sunny. I actually was at Farm Fest this morning and got to walk around, and I met somebody that one of the guys at the booth was stopped and talked to him for a little bit. I can't remember your name now offhand, but it was nice to meet you and talk to you a little bit. So, but that window right there, take the loader tractor and come in here and bring the bucket up, and that's how we move furniture in and out of the second story on the house. So I probably won't be videoing all the families here, just because the main goal is what my folks are here for this weekend, is we got to get the rest of my uncle's stuff out of the house. So and start cleaning the house really nice so that it's decently livable. I had to completely gut the basement because I had some water in there this spring, and they had a whole bunch of just junk down in the basement that started to cause mold problems. This is all that wood from that deck that I got to get rid of yet. I don't even kind of see some of the stuff back there. But we had to I completely gutted the basement and pressure washed it. So now when my family's here, we're going to move a bunch of my stuff out of the shop into the house. And then that way the shop is cleaned out. All my uncle's stuff is out, so the house is mine. So I've been living here now we closed on the 26th, and I moved in here, I think it was the 10th of April. So it's now August, so been here a little while, but it's kind of nice to be able to call a place home. I know our economy right now isn't the greatest, but thankfully I was able to buy the place for enough that I can afford it somewhat easily. But I'm still commuting an hour of work today, and the old Bomber, and this is my daily car, is a 2012 Ford Focus with that goofy computer controlled manual transmission. I've had that car now for about 2 years. I actually really like this car. I know a lot of people don't like the clutch, and I can understand. They should have used a wet clutch instead of a dry clutch, and that would have fixed all the problems they had with these cars. But I've had it now, and I've put about 50,000 miles on it. Right now I'm averaging about 38.2 miles to the gallon, so she's really good on gas. So that's kind of a key for having to commute an hour to work every day, is at least I've got a good rig that is good on fuel. So, well, I might take and post some more once we get done cleaning the house. Kind of just do a walkthrough of the house once it's all finally finished and cleaned out and somewhat organized. But thanks for watching this video. I might see another video the next week or two. I'm going to try this winter, and we're going to get the shop cleaned out, and I'm going to get the combine down here. That's still sitting up at my buddy's place. I have a trucking company haul it down here. I could drive it, but it's 4 hours, and if I blow a tire on that thing, you're talking a $1,500 tire. It's just better right now for them to haul it for $500 and get it down here. So probably look out for a video probably in September sometime of getting the combine down here, and hopefully we can get it into the shop and get to work and start going through that, because I know that thing needs basically every belt and chain on it, and the chopper knives are shot, need to be replaced, and I need to go through and do some welding on it. But that'll kind of be what'll be happening here in the next little while. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.